No, you can't kill Kenny. Kenny's the heart and soul of the show.
I mean, I guess. Yeah.
And Kenny is the Glenn of the show. Not
because he's
Yeah,
Asian.
look at what happened to him.
No.
Because he's Asian.
Is he Asian?
Jesus, yes, he is.
Yes.
Oh,
Jesus
wow.
Christ, Dustin.
Wow, Dustin.
Wow. What's the name of that Joshua Jackson boat show?
Oh, no, don't say it. Don't say the name.
Fucking
It's
hell.
a question.
It's a question. I just asked. Well, now
I know.
I hope you're giving the question to Dan because I clearly don't know the name.
All right, well, that might as well be a good place to start.
That's good.
Yeah, welcome to another episode of Pajiba, the Pajiba television podcast. I'm Pajiba comedy editor Dan Hamamura. With me, as always, are Pajiba managing editor Tori Preston.
Hello, Dan.
Hello, Tori, and the number one fan of fan clubs, Dustin Rolls.
Hello, Dan.
He's drinking some kind of wine.
No, I'm drinking Arthur again. Remember?
Oh, it's just from a
said,
big bottle.
Yeah, they get a nice decorative bottle.
Are you not the number one fan of clubs?
Maybe, yes. I don't know.
The number
I
one
couldn't think.
club
I'm the
of
number one
fans?
fan of
I don't
fan
know.
clubs. No, I club fans. I don't know.
So if there was a fan club, you'd be the number one fan.
Yes. The number one fan of fan clubs.
Does that mean you're in a lot of fan clubs? Like you just because you love fan clubs so much?
It means that I couldn't think of anything to write when I was logging on.
And you just didn't want us to call you that which shall not be named.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Untitled Dustin Rolls nickname.
Fair enough. I appreciate the effort.
Yeah. Tori, what are you drinking?
Oh, I've got my tequila Paloma in a can again. I'm just going to
Very
drink
nice.
it until the 4-pack runs out.
How many do you have left?
And that should be like one night.
What do you mean? No. I only drink one. I always want to drink more. I should drink more. I'm going to make a concerted effort to drink more.
Because of the procedure I had this morning, I had so many people ask me over the course of the last week, because they'll call you and they'll register and they'll call you and ask you questions, and then you get there and they ask you the same. Do you drink alcohol? And I don't know how to answer that. I mean, like, I say, yes, I drink alcohol. But do they then just assume you're a drunk?
No.
No.
I'm like, yes, I drink alcohol.
Well, did they ask any follow-up questions like how much?
Well, sort of. I was just like, I don't drink a ton. I drink a regular amount of alcohol.
Okay,
Although I
yeah.
don't know if
They
that's
don't
true.
they don't
Yeah.
ask like how many drinks a week. Also
Yeah, usually it's...
untrue.
They didn't.
Oh, okay.
Okay. A regular
Are you,
amount?
I
are
am
you
regular.
allowed to drink now? Jeez.
Not really, but it's fine.
Oh, because of your big procedure?
Right. They said you should not drink for 24 hours, but the anesthesiologist, he said, it'll be all out of your system by noon. It doesn't really matter. Just don't sue us.
The
I was like,
anesthesiologist
okay.
was like, you know what's great? Mixing alcohol with this. You're going to have a great time, buddy.
Wow.
I'm sure the problem is more that, like, you have, have you eaten?
Today I have. Yeah.
Okay.
You can eat today. I just couldn't
Right.
eat yesterday.
Right. What a mystery procedure we're not talking about.
Like Dustin's we're all HIPAA
Untitled.
here.
Procedure, yes.
Untitled medical procedure. Yeah.
What are you drinking, Dan?
I'm just drinking Makers from the liquor cabinet.
And you guys just don't drink on other nights, usually.
I will sometimes drink on Tuesdays because that's when I play softball, and sometimes we drink after softball.
I see.
So if I do that, I
Sometimes.
have like a beer.
Yeah. I had a little bit of whiskey on Saturday because it was Saturday, and I watched a movie.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So if the doctor would ask you, do you drink alcohol, what would you say?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would never say a normal amount because that is what alcoholics say to sound not like an alcoholic. Like normal. And I would say I would wait for the normal follow-up, which is how much a week. And I would say 1 to 2, which is probably not a normal amount.
No, that sounds like a very
little
light
amount. Right.
I would not even, because they asked me if I like did marijuana, and I said no, even though I do like once a month.
That's
like
not,
I take a gummy.
Yeah.
Exactly. But that's
right.
kind of what I think about you and alcohol. It's like 1 to 2.
It doesn't really.
Drinking, right?
But I also feel like if I were a doctor, I would just assume if somebody says 1 to 2, you just double whatever they say. Like, 1 to 2, that's like 3 to 4, and that's like, I just assume everyone's lying. Yeah, normal amount. Nothing to see here, folks.
I drink a normal amount compared to a lot of other people.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you do. I know you do, but also that is incredibly suspicious sounding.
Yeah.
Probably.
It's definitely too much protesting.
I'll tell you this. There are people who drink way more than me. There are some real alcoholics out there.
All right. You guys want to play a game?
Yeah.
Yes.
Good. Let me get... Oh, I don't have my watch, so... Dan?
You can't make him play and time.
I already have my timer going.
Okay.
Wait, do I have to time?
No,
I can figure it out.
I gotta stop watching on my phone.
Guys, we're losing it.
Do you want me to time?
I thought we were professionals. That we had this podcasting thing down.
Well,
all right, I can time. I can time. It's fine.
Okay. Give yourself 2 minutes, Dan.
Wait, hang on. All right. Tell me when to hit start.
And start. Who falsely claimed this week that he was invited to appear with his family as a guest on the last week of shows for Oprah Winfrey, which he claimed was a very big deal?
Donald Trump.
Correct. Quote, "It's a tragedy we don't see each other often anymore," said one half of a famous duo. His desire was to start exploring the horror genre, and my desire was to do more dramatic work like I'd been trained in school. Name the duo.
Key and Peele.
Correct. What infamous former television personality abruptly walked out of an interview with PBS this week after he was asked questions he didn't care for, threatening to sue the network if they aired the footage?
Pass.
Harlan Coben's Fool Me Once was the most watched Netflix show of the first half of 2024. He's also made 7 other popular English language series on Netflix. Name one.
Murder Island.
No. Within the first 48 hours, the trailer for What Joshua Jackson series, which was posted onto our site by Corey, was watched 77 million times.
Dr. Odyssey.
That is correct. Who will make her hosting debut in the SNL season 50 premiere along with musical guest Jelly Roll?
Oh my God. What is her name? Hacks. Gene Smart.
That's correct. There have been several television miniseries and documentaries about Lyle and Eric Menendez over the years, including the latest controversial Ryan Murphy series, which is the week's top show on Netflix. Within 5 years, what year did the brothers murder their parents?
1998.
Ooh, good. 1996. This television actor, killed in the very first episode of Taylor Sheridan's Mayor of Kingstown, has been cast as Hal Jordan.
Kyle Chandler.
Damon Lindelof's. That's correct. You did well. Let's see. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
He passed one, but...
No, I should have 5 because I passed on one and I didn't get the Harlan Coben one.
There were 8 questions, though.
So you got 6. He actually made it through all 8.
Why were there 8 questions? I thought it's supposed to be 7.
There's always
questions.
8.
There's
always 8.
Just don't get to the 8th.
You don't get to them.
It doesn't help that the Key and Peele question was like 5 minutes long.
Yeah. And you could have...
You asked a thing.
still got a
well,
ball.
I didn't know if you were asking for Keegan or for the duo. That's why I had to wait.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
Waiting was terrible. Also, it was
Or
the
Jordan
P-Love
Peele.
headline.
I mean,
Oh, it
that's
was.
that's
Well,
one that I would know.
Yeah.
I do have
Well,
a Google
I-
alert for Keegan Michael Key.
Yeah.
I didn't have a lot to work with this week, although the Harlan Coben question really made me happy.
It made me happy too. That was a great question.
Dustin,
I
what
also
are-
would not have been able to name any of them.
Dustin, what is one other Harlan Coben show on Netflix?
The Stranger, Stay Close, The Woods, The Five, Hold Tight, and No Second Chance. I think I've seen them all. And I don't remember a thing about any of them.
Every time I hear The Stranger, I think it's that HBO show that had the HBO Stephen King one.
Oh, The Outsider or whatever?
Yeah, The Outsider.
Yeah.
And I know it's not, but I still think it is.
Yeah.
Anyway,
This doesn't bode well.
I think
Are
Tori's
you
going to
ready,
do great.
Tori?
Dan got all my questions. But go ahead.
All right. Many men in television news contacted a disease, big shot-itis. It was characterized by swelling of the head, an inability to stop talking, self-aggrandizing behavior, narcissistic tendencies, unrelenting hubris, delusions of grandeur, and fantasies of sexual prowess. Who wrote in her memoir this about her former co-anchor on CBS Evening News, Dan Rather?
Connie Chung?
Correct. What comedian made her awkward debut on Thursday Night Football, roasting various NFL players and analysts like former tight end Tony Gonzalez, who she said looked like a genie that you summoned by rubbing the crotch of a sensible Talbot's pantsuit?
Nikki Glazer?
Correct. It was revealed this week that these two longtime friends still referred to each other by their television character names, Carol and Doug, 30 years after the series premiered. To whom am I referring?
George Clooney and Juliana Margulies.
Correct. Some complained this week that the actor was this actor was too attractive to be cast as notorious serial killer Ed Gein in Netflix's next installment of its series Monster.
I agree, but I can't remember who it was. So, pass?
Charlie Hunnam.
Oh.
5 series celebrated big anniversaries this month. Friends, Lost, Community, The West Wing, and Veronica Mars. Which two celebrated their 20th anniversary?
Enrico Colantoni.
Yes.
Okay, so Veronica Mars, and I don't remember what else you said. West Wing?
Friends, Lost, Community, The West Wing.
I'm going to say Lost and
That is correct.
Veronica Mars.
That is correct. As we are recording this, the 26th season of The Voice premieres. Name one of its 4 current judges, not including Gwen Stefani.
Is Katy Perry doing it?
Nope.
Okay.
That's American Idol. How did that go so fast?
You read slow.
Yeah. Also, that first question was like 2 paragraphs. That took forever.
Sorry.
Also,
You
some of
get an
them were
extra
like
question.
2 answer questions, so she should get points for those.
All right. Well, I'm going to give her another question anyway because I like this one. The NFL continues to be the most watched event on television, making up 93 of the top 100 programs on television in 2023. Besides Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes, name one starting quarterback currently in the league.
The fuck is a quarterback?
It's the throwy boy.
Don't they all kind of have to throw?
Decidedly not. No. It's just the one guy that throws.
And then they all catch, except for the ones that kick or the ones that push,
Or
block,
run,
blocky boys. Gronk.
Gronk is retired several years ago and wasn't a quarterback.
I bet he blocked people. Gronk sounds like a block.
He was a tight end.
I don't know what that is.
He would block sometimes and he would catch sometimes.
Oh, versatile.
Tom Brady was a quarterback.
Right, yeah, because he cheated with balls.
Right.
But he's retired.
He doesn't like red food?
Yeah.
That's correct. Yeah.
What do you want me to name somebody? I can't do that, Dustin.
One quarterback.
I literally can't.
I think you could have given her Patrick Mahomes and she probably wouldn't have gotten it.
Who is that?
Exactly.
Oh, that's
You
the
don't know
one.
Patrick?
No, he's married to Taylor
Whitney.
Swift's best
Right,
friend.
yeah.
Okay. He's a quarterback? Does that mean then who's Travis Kelce? He's not a quarterback?
He's a tight end.
He's a tight end, yeah.
Is his brother a quarterback?
No, he was a center.
Emmett
are a
Smith is
lot of-
retired, right?
Running back.
And-
There are a lot
and
of
he was
different
not a
positions.
He was not a quarterback.
No, he was a
In
running
football.
boy.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't know what you want from me. I have nothing. I cannot. I'm really scraping the barrel here. I'm trying, man.
You do not get the answer.
No, I know I don't. Why would you ask me that? It's just
Just
taunting
wanted to
me.
know.
If I knew any
There-
other sports,
There are
figure-
literally like
Oh, there's
30
gotta-
other guys.
there's got to be a quarterback on every team, right? That's
Yeah,
how
and
it.
they're like
That's how it
the
works.
most famous people on each team.
Are
Dustin,
they though?
Could you
Are they?
could you name every starting quarterback, Dustin?
Could I name every starting quarter? Probably. If you like, give me the team, I could name the quarterback. Yes. You could do.
I don't know. I could get most of them. There's a couple I'd get confused.
I feel like we should test this. If
I
Dustin
don't think that
gets
is a
every
good-
single one, great. If he
Yep.
misses one starting quarterback, I get the point.
I think that's
this is
great.
a good use of
Let's
the
see.
podcast
Let's
time.
see. You know what? I approve of this and would also like to see this happen.
So yeah, I want to see. Yeah.
Hang on. Let me get some depth
You
charts up
cannot
here.
possibly.
gonna-
There's
how about this? How about
32
this?
teams.
Yeah.
How about this? I'm going to just let me start because sometimes if you ask me about teams, I might know teams. The Kansas City Chiefs are probably football and not baseball.
Yeah.
Correct. That's
I'm
where
not-
Patrick Mahomes is.
Oh, well, fuck.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Here, Dustin. Real quick. We're gonna do this so fast. All right.
Okay.
We're going alphabetically, so it's even easier for you.
No, we can't actually get to. Okay.
Arizona Cardinals,
Kyler Murray,
Atlanta Falcons,
Kirk Cousins,
Baltimore Ravens,
Lamar Jackson,
Buffalo Bills,
Josh Allen.
Carolina Panthers,
Right now it's Andy Dalton.
Chicago Bears,
Look. The Bears is Caleb Williams,
Cincinnati Bengals,
Joe Burrow,
Cleveland Browns,
Deshaun Watson,
Dallas Cowboys,
Dak Prescott,
Denver Broncos,
Bo Nix,
Detroit
Wait,
Lions,
Lions, Jared Goff.
Green Bay Packers,
Oh, right now it's Malik, but usually it's Jordan Love.
all right, Houston Texans. We'll give that to you as Malik. But
Malik, sorry. CJ Stroud.
Indianapolis Colts. I just like watching
Anthony
Dory.
Richards. Yeah.
Jacksonville Jaguars. Richardson. That's you're
Richards. Okay.
flying real close to the sun.
That's my team. Trevor Lawrence.
All right, you got the Chiefs, LA Chargers.
See, I always confuse the Chargers and the Rams. The Chargers, I believe, is Herbert, and the Rams is Stafford.
Okay, you got both. Las Vegas Raiders,
Minshew.
Miami Dolphins,
Well, I think right now it's Tim Boyle, but it's usually Tua. Tim Boyle is who finished the game last
Tim
time.
Boyle finished the game. Skylar Thompson
the-
is still on the depth chart as number one.
Finishing isn't starting, is it?
That is true though. Tim Boyle. No, it's he's technically correct because they were down to their third quarterback. I mean, we could finish this, but it's clear that you.
Yeah, I know them all. Yeah.
Oh, fine.
He does. He does. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure he knows all. Of
So how many? How did I do? I did not get 6.
One. I think you got 5 though. No, you didn't get Charlie Hunnam, so you got 4. And the other judges on The Voice, besides Gwen Stefani, no, Dan.
John Legend?
No?
Is John
He
Legend
used
still
to be.
doing it?
He used to be.
Okay. And it used to be because it used to be Adam, asshole guy,
Yeah.
and Gwen Stefani's husband.
Tall guy. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I take it none of them. Oh, is Chance the Rapper?
Isn't Pharrell
No.
one of them?
Nope, not anymore. I think Pharrell might have been.
Oh.
Now it is Reba,
Oh.
Michael Bublé, and Snoop.
Oh.
So they're just stunt casting.
I think Bublé and Snoop are new this year.
And which
Rita's
one?
always been doing it?
And what costumes are they wearing?
That's a different show.
I mean, but why not? Why not do a crossover?
Yeah.
Where the judges are still in their chairs and they don't see the people singing, but they're also in a costume, so you don't know which judge is which.
Right. And you have to guess which.
You have to guess. Yeah. I think this would work really well.
Yeah. The contestants have to try to like woo the person dressed as a teacup, but the other one wants like the falcon, but then they hope that it's the pop star they actually want to work with.
Right.
Yeah.
I think this works great. I think we just created a whole new $1 billion idea.
Yeah, let's sell it.
Dan is up 2-1 on the season. Just
Tori,
you're doing
win
season stats?
Oh yeah.
Well, no, I'm not going to win because he's going to keep reading like, the Declaration of Independence as a question. Take up all the time.
Nick Cage.
I had a long question for him, and I gave you the 7th question. You want the 8th question?
No. Okay, wait, no. Well, yeah, I do want the 8th question, but no. What I want to talk about is like, why the hell did Connie Chung's memoir just come out? Like, why is that news from this week?
It did come out this week.
Okay, well, fine. I was like, why the fuck are you talking about Connie Chung?
And she shit talked the hell out of Dan Rather, which I was kind of surprised by. I thought everybody loved Dan Rather, but it also makes sense.
Yeah.
The 8th question was about Prue Leith. She decided to come back to her competition reality show after they let her have fewer hours. What show is she on?
Oh, British Bake Off?
That's correct, yes. I didn't know if you'd know that or not.
I didn't either. I don't watch it. But like Prue sounds like sort of a British name.
Yeah, it does. I didn't, I knew Dan would get that. But
because he watches all the competition. But does he watch British Bake Off?
I don't think so, but he knows enough about cooking shows.
That's true.
Now we're talking about Dan as though he's not here because he's not here.
He's not here. He can't answer for himself.
Got
whereas
up from his chair and walked away.
Yep. He was done with us, which is fair. I can't do cooking competition shows because they make me hungry. And then I get angry. So.
I just eat.
I mean, I do that too, but I like doing that with other shows.
Anybody ever watched a cooking competition show and said, I'm going to make that and like follow? Because I do that on Instagram. I honestly do. I see people cooking on Instagram and I will do that and then I do it. Even though their directions are sloppy. And
oh my God, they're terrible directions.
Yeah. But
I don't think you can do that with a cooking show.
Sometimes it turns out really well. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I've never done it with a cooking
show.
They're good.
They know what they're doing.
But I also think there's a difference between like, because I'm assuming you guys don't watch like the cooking shows where it's, like Rachel Ray or Pioneer, whatever, or, like the people who are literally all about giving you recipes and walking you through it. Like you're talking about competition shows where they're, usually professionals who make complicated dishes.
Yeah. We're also not seeing the whole thing.
Yeah.
But like Julia Childs, did people watch her and decide, ooh, I can make that?
I think that's kind of what her whole thing was. Mm. She wrote cookbooks.
True, yes.
She wanted people to.
But you couldn't pause it back then when she was on. I mean, you can't, like my problem with the Instagram cooking is that I can't pause it Instagram either. So I just have to rewatch these stupid Instagram videos over and over to catch.
Do they give you the recipes in the description?
Not the one that I use, or not, at least not the one that I watch mostly.
If only there was a way to take things that you hear and record them in some way, maybe with I don't know, some kind of ink on paper instrument.
Yeah. It's true.
Okay, Dan.
Have you ever considered so you see a video and they're making whatever, and then you could just Google that dish name and see if there is a written recipe for something that approximates
but I want to see his looks great or hers looks great, and I want mine to taste like theirs. Not like I could look up a recipe for anything.
You don't know what theirs tastes like, though.
Yeah.
It's true.
Also, social media is not reality. Don't trust just because something looks good.
That's also where people like bake hot dogs into things that should not have hot dogs in them.
I don't eat the weird stuff. There's the don't fuck it up guy. He's my favorite. Are you familiar with the don't fuck it up guy?
No.
He just berates everyone and says, "Don't fuck it up. This is easy. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why can't you do this?" And I love him, and I don't know why.
So that's Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
Well, kind of. But
I don't know.
He's secretly charming, and you can tell he has a kind heart.
So it's Gordon Ramsay.
Okay, fine.
By all reports, he's supposed to be a very nice guy when he's not.
I bet he is.
Yelling at you.
Yeah.
Although if I had to look at some of the kitchen nightmares he had to look at, I would also yell at people. Like those when he goes into the refrigerator or like the deep cooler and is like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's fucking disgusting." I would also like yell. No, my Instagram feeds are mostly like yummy toddler food because I need ideas for things that I have time to cook and that he might eat. And it sounds so boring, but it's like, I have to keep feeding this kid and I need new ideas.
Understand.
I'm like, what the hell? Like, how many different ways can I make you breakfast? Because then he starts getting sick of stuff. And I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm still trying to drink my coffee. What do you want to eat? I can't. Apparently, I'm not just supposed to give you toast. Oh, it's so hard. Like, what are you supposed to do?
Hard.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to just give them toast?
I don't know. Today I did French toast because I was like, I don't know, there's some egg in it. What am I supposed to do? Well, because I usually just make oatmeal, but then I add fun things to the oatmeal, but then he's been getting sick of oatmeal, and I'm like, okay, fine. I make really good. Yeah. Oh, you're getting sick of this? I thought you loved it because it was messy. Yeah, I don't know. And then it's like you get done with that, and like I have to then immediately start thinking about lunch.
I know. God, it's really the hardest part of parenting, or really the hardest part of marriage is
food.
What the fuck?
What am I supposed to? And you to do it every day.
So,
every day.
God. And I wish everybody in the family just like hot dogs and beans, because that would be great. Just cut up some hot dogs and put them in some beans. But actually, nobody likes that. Except me.
I like coming up with different things, but it's just it's having to like triangulate what I am capable of preparing at any given moment with what he will deign to eat. Because I'm like, most of the time you like broccoli, except for when I make broccoli, and then you're like, this is garbage. Like one out of like, I would say once a month he will agree to eat salmon. He likes salmon.
I made salmon tonight.
Yeah.
Not one of my kids ate it.
Yep.
Salmon with asparagus and baby potatoes. It was perfect. It was so good.
One night I made this. Granted, I didn't make it. It wasn't fancy. It was from Trader Joe's, but they have a frozen shrimp scampi that's delicious. Like, and so you make it, and it's the shrimp with the butter and the sauce and everything. And then I made some like pumpkin ravioli to go with it, and the sauce could go on it, and it was great, right? This kid was like, I will not eat dinner tonight. I was like, you love shrimp. You eat shrimp all the time. What do you mean you're not eating? And you eat ravioli all the time. Like, I thought this was a slam dunk. He literally just did not eat that night.
The worst thing is if they find something they love and then you go out and you buy a ton of it just because you're so excited that they found something that they love, and then like 3 days later they don't want it anymore and you're just like stuck with a bunch of it.
But is it something that you love?
Sometimes not.
What's the biggest waste of like something that you bought for your kids that you were like, well, now I have nothing?
The biggest, but I can tell you I have an entire box of Cheez-Its in our pantry right now.
Someone will eat that.
Yeah.
You would think, but they are goldfish people.
Oh, no, I just mean like one of the random people who shows up here.
Every day I'm like, please take this to school and give it to, because they have a whole thing. They have to take like 10 snacks apiece to school because half of them are given away.
So you're just feeding the school.
Well, they make requests. Their friends do. They're like, Can you get some of the Trader Joe's Takis? And I'm like, sure. Because Imran wants some more. All right, fine.
That's amazing.
You're feeding the whole school.
No, just their friends.
Mm-hmm.
But like,
you have very social kids.
I do.
All right, let's talk about television.
All right.
Nah, we may as well.
So should we? Survivor is our one true show. We should probably do it first.
Yeah.
And then we're going to run out of time of everything else, but that's okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll speed round.
What else do we have to I mean, what is there to say about that episode? It was just...
It's just the first episode, and John Lovett got voted out, which I'm sure the producers were like,
God damn it. I was...
Well, the thing...
thing
that... Yeah.
We can... Who did everybody choose? Is there... Go to the end person?
Oh, right. We have to choose, right? Wait, hang on. Let me look at the cast.
I am stuck in the middle of a draft. My friend, so we did a...
You're in the middle of a draft still?
Okay, no. So my friend group is doing a snake draft where we each get 2. Mm-hmm. I ended up being both first and now last because of the snake, right?
Got it. Yeah.
The person, I did my first pick. We all did our first pick. Most everyone did their second pick. And then the person before me has just boycotted. She's going to probably turn it in at like 7:00 on Wednesday. And mind you, because our group is big enough, there's only 3 names left. So it's like she picks one, I would pick one, and then we have one wild card. So like everyone in the cast will have been chosen, basically, except for the wild card.
Who was you went first,
my
so you
my
got to
first.
make the first choice.
Yeah, my first choice was Sue.
Okay.
Flight instructor, older lady, like has her makeup tattooed on. Everyone wanted to be her friend.
Really?
I don't know, but it kind of looks like it. Like she looked like she was very well made up considering she's in Fiji.
No. I get that. I just you chose her.
Yeah, because remember,
attracted you to her?
No, because I think at the very least she'll make it far. So I was thinking about the edit for a premiere. So you basically whoever's going to win is going to be featured somehow at what, and you kind of obviously it wasn't John Lovett. Andy is probably not going to, I mean, he may make it far, but he's not it's just
that guy's not winning. No.
That guy's not winning.
Right.
That sucked up a lot of oxygen. So then you're looking at what's going on with the other teams. And my feeling was that Sue looks a lot like, remember, who was the woman last season who was like the mother figure?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just like the older lady that everyone wants to, and it was the way the whole team, she was like, I thought nobody would want it, but now everyone wants to work with it. I'm like, that's awesome. So I think she'll go far. I don't know that she'll win necessarily. I don't think we've seen enough of her to say anything, but I just kind of was like, she's cool. I'm going to pick her. Because it's so hard early on. You don't get a good feeling off of everyone.
Yeah, you don't. And you really do have to sort of look at screen time a little bit.
Yeah.
And try to figure it out from there.
That's why I'm picking Tiana because she's from Hawaii, so whatever, it doesn't matter. I can at least pick her and be like, yeah, Hawaii is going to get their first winner.
Yeah. It's time.
It's time for Hawaii to win Survivor.
Yeah.
I was the first person in my family to choose someone, and I jumped on someone quickly. I don't know if it was the right choice.
It was John Lovett.
It was Andy.
No. God, no. I was lucky. It was TK.
Okay.
I liked because his name is TK.
Yeah.
And also, he was featured a lot early on in the episode. I did not know that he would then be sent to the island, and that was probably why he was featured a lot early in the episode.
Yeah.
But he also seemed very cool. Probably too strong of a player to last till the end. But yeah.
That was a nice win he pulled out. Mostly because he was against the girl who was just taking her time. She's like, I'm lost. I'm like, run downhill.
Right. I did like that. I will admit, I did like that she tried to just pull the key from his hand. He's like, no, or the box or whatever.
Yeah, I did too. I would do the same thing. It's whatever. It's Survivor.
One of my kids picked her, and I think that was actually a good pick. She seems like the kind of person that could stick around a long time as a non-threatening. Also, she knows a lot about Survivor because she runs a Survivor podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
I think she works for Rob, right? Rob has a podcast.
Yes.
Which is like the big one.
Oh, it is? I didn't know that.
Yeah, because that's Rob Sestorino who like competed. That's like the OG one.
I really didn't know that. No.
Yeah.
I just
what kind of Survivor fan are you, Dustin?
I know. I don't listen to the podcast.
You just record one. All right. I do have a question, although I know, first episode, it's kind of, you're just meeting people. So Andy, Andy had been kind of like, got a fair amount of screen time talking about like feeling like kind of like he had been left out like throughout his life. And then, but then he's like, it's different now. I'm an adult and things are great. Right. And then during the challenge, he kind of melts down, and it's definitely like cut and like some of the medical stuff. Like he was also clearly overheating and exhausted. So that's part of it. But this is like
freaking out before the challenge though.
Right.
Like,
he was freaking out before the challenge. But this was like, it was weird because this was the first time I think in a long time that I've seen someone like melt down and it felt like, oh, this is actually like a real like crisis. Like this is not just like bad gameplay or like it felt it felt uncomfortable to watch, at least to me.
Yeah.
In a way where I was like, I don't think he should be out there.
He was was clearly not in his right mind.
Yeah.
No. And he wasn't for most of the game. Like he's got a whole like kind of paranoia going on that's like, I don't want to like armchair diagnose him, like whether it's bipolar or whatever, but it's like he's not well.
Yeah.
And should not be doing this.
Yeah.
And it was, and I think everyone made a big deal about the fact that he like admitted he would have thrown John under the bus, even though John was his like best friend out there. And it's like, that's not the story here. The story is that like he's losing his mind because not enough people cheered him on when he split his coconut.
Right.
And he continued to talk about the fucking coconut over and over again. Like, no, he's not well. And I'm really, and like, here's my problem, right? Because it's like going to go two ways. This dude is going to be Banu 2.0 and suck the oxygen out of the air, out of the game for like 4 episodes before he's voted out, like prior to merge, right? Like he'll like somehow make it within his tribe long enough to like not get voted out. Because he's not, at this point, he is not a threat. Because like everyone knows he's unstable.
Right.
And like he'll just be easy to carry along. Or he's going to be Q and people actually carry him through the merge and continue to use him as a shield because it's so convenient to tell everyone that they're, oh, no, now we're going to vote Andy and then not vote him. He'll be the smokescreen.
Right.
And I can't tell, and either one really makes me upset. So.
Yes. But we have had occasionally someone that was like completely bonkers the first couple episodes that actually sort of figured it out and acclimated and like ended up being a stronger player.
That's true, but I feel like most of those have felt like someone playing too hard or just like it didn't feel like a crisis.
Actual
like the only player this really reminded me of, I mean, it is a very different freak out, but was Brandon Hance. Because he actually got like he had issues and like serious but then like kind of melted down in front of everybody to the point where they were like, we're all voting him out, we don't need to go to tribal, like just get him out of here.
Before he pulled out the machete on them.
Oh right.
And that doesn't take away from the fact that John did not play the hand very well at all.
Right.
Like
no, like what would you do? Why did he do that?
Well, to be, I read the exit interview.
I did too.
Because I was curious. But like it does sound like, for better or worse, because Andy had kind of like chosen him as his like number one.
Yeah.
That like there were already 3 duos, and then once Andy kind of made himself the target, then there was no way. It was like he was already in danger because he's already associated with Andy. So
yeah. And it's easier to carry Andy around. Also, I think like and this is the thing. I think that like he at the threat of having his name written down, he tried to throw it, which was just like, you got to show some balls there. Like, just come on, man. Like, you know what's going on. Like, don't get scared and try to like get them to write somebody else's name. Like, you just got to deal with it and hope that they're not lying to you. But also, when you saw the people, like, I feel, and I couldn't tell if it was the edit or not, but they kind of do the bit where they're all introducing themselves, and he kind of acknowledges he's a podcaster, but is like playing it kind of coy about who he is, which was smart. But then when you look at the votes, I think it was Sam wrote his full name. So it was very clear that his tribe, at least some people on his tribe, which means like maybe everyone on his tribe knew exactly who he was.
But none of them spelled his name right.
But they still knew, like somebody wrote John Lovett. Like,
right. Well,
they didn't spell it correctly.
He talked about, I mean, he did tell them the truth, like in the water.
Well, I know, but he said it like I don't think he said, did he say the name of it?
He said
yeah.
I think he did say it was Pod Save America, but I don't know. I mean, the thing to say is that you were a speechwriter. That's the thing that would have been.
Yeah, he was hiding the, like, I was a speechwriter, didn't say for who, and then, but it felt like people were maybe like more aware of him than they let on. And so I was kind of like, he might not have had much of a shot anyway.
Yeah, I just wanted him to stick around a while because he would have been
interesting.
The thing that I did, the thing that kind of train. I haven't heard the train in a while.
We haven't had a train in a while.
The thing that struck me the most was that, like, in the end, he was kind of just like the old guy who you vote out first because he's not that strong. And I'm like, he's not that old. How is he the old guy?
I know, right? He's like 40. I'm like, wait a second.
Yeah, he's like our age.
Yeah.
I was like,
so
even he was like, what do you mean I'm the old one?
And her 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she's the old one, and she's going to be fine.
But Sue looks like she can hold her own.
Yeah. She's a flight instructor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also wonder, like, this feels like one of those where they're going to bring him back somehow. Like, not necessarily this season, but, like...
If he wants to.
If he's willing to go through it again. Because...
Bring him back for 50. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
They should do it like... What was the deal with the 50?
50 is definitely going to be returning players.
It's just returning players, but
they haven't said anything beyond that. But the rumor is that it'll be pre 40 and post 40.
Okay.
So it'll be people who played 39 days versus people who've only played 26.
Oh, I see. That's interesting.
I still think they should just do season 46 over again. They should just do last season, all the same people, bring them back, do it again.
Oh my God. Bono would be so happy.
He would, yeah. He would be thrilled, and I would love to see them.
Would you keep the same tribes or mix up the tribes?
Mix up the tribes.
Okay.
Definitely mix up the tribes. But yeah, I just think it would be so fascinating to see, like, after all the dirt that got spilled, like, just make them go in and do it again. Banu would probably, I don't know. Part of me is like, he would either get voted out first just to, like, cut it off at the knees, or he would make it to the final three. I don't know.
We'll see. I mean, we're going to talk a lot more Survivor as we go. But, all right, wait. So what was everyone's picks? I will write it down.
Okay. Sue. Well, I did Sue for my other draft, so I'll stick with her. I don't know.
Tori picked Sue.
Because I'm like, I have a good feeling on Annika, Rachel, Saul. Like, there's some really cool... There's good players.
I'm sticking with TK, who I also put, but secretly I like the woman with the short hair who was friends with the podcaster.
Oh, Teeny,
yeah. I think of course that she's gonna do it. No, she's
very Maine coded.
Is that what it is? I thought she was just feels like somebody that everyone's going to like and not feel threatened by.
Yeah, that's her whole thing. She's definitely going to get torpedoed. That's my feeling. I don't know. I feel like she seems non-threatening, super friendly, that she's clearly going with the social game.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. But I feel like it's so obvious that there will come a point where they're just like, oh yeah, we got to get her out. She's too friendly.
Mm-hmm.
She's too good at, because that's like when they're like, oh no, this person's too social.
Right.
Well, she did figure into the episode quite a bit for someone that ended up having nothing to do with the outcome.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
We will see. All right. We have a little bit of time to talk about our shows, our other shows.
Speed round.
So speed round. I just want to say this very quickly. I'm back on my bullshit. Netflix has an amazing new Korean competition show you both have to watch. It is called Culinary Class Wars.
Is it an actual class war?
It's so it is Physical 100, but for meets Top Chef. They start.
I thought you were going to say 4 meets,
no,
and I was like,
they start with 100 chefs, and then they're cutting them down over the course of this competition to get to 1. The other thing that they did was 80 of the chefs are kind of like famous adjacent, like they're like, maybe some of them are like popular on YouTube, or they have like a really liked restaurant in like one of the cities or whatever. And then the top 20 chefs are like Michelin star, Grandmaster, won all these other cooking competitions. Ed Lee from Top Chef is on there.
oh my gosh.
He's the one American, or there are a couple Europeans, and I think he's the only American. Or he's the only American I recognize, put it that way. And it's like, if you've watched Physical 100, it has kind of the same, like it feels at times like, are they using the same stage because it's dark and moody in a similar way?
They're cooking in a mud pit.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, they might as well be, but and it's
they did like a competition for 100 people in the beginning.
So it starts the way it starts.
Boil an egg.
Well, no. So the way it starts is the first round. So the 20 who are like selected as like, these are the best of the best, they get to skip the first round. They're already through. But then the first round is all the other 80. They're all cooking, and they're just told, make your best dish. Make whatever you want to make to impress the judges. And the judges are these 2 judges. One is like the only, I think he had, it's closed right now temporarily in theory, but he had the only 3-star Michelin restaurant in Korea. So he's like the best of the best. Mm-hmm. And then the other chef is like a chef restaurateur who has like 1,000 franchises of like his. So they have one who's like more populist, but like very business oriented. And they have one who's like the best fine dining chef in the country. And they were, and so they're just like going around tasting everyone's dishes. And all it is they either say you're out, like you're eliminated, we're not sure, or you're in, and then only 20 make it in out of the 80. So a lot of people, they're just like, you're not good enough, go away. No. And then some of them, they're like, this is good, we're not sure. And then the top people, they're like, this is great, you're moving on.
Yeah.
And so then from there they cut it down to 20, and then now they have 20
40.
of the, and then 40 total with the 20 fine dining. And then the second round, which is where the episode block ended, they're in the middle of going one-on-one. So they're all so one chef from like the top tier faces off one chef from the the more populist group.
Wait, did you just say those poor judges?
They got to eat so much food.
They have to eat a lot of food.
That sounds
and
amazing.
it's only 2 judges. It's the same 2 judges. They're eating so much food. I don't know how long it took them, but it's amazing.
That's my dream. You only have to eat 1 bite.
One other thing that's funny and awkward is that the second round, because they don't want to be biased by like knowing who's in front of them, they taste it blindfolded. So they're blindfolded, and then there are these other like PAs who are basically like scooping it and then like have to like feed them, and they're like smelling it, and they're like, and then the guy is like, it's in front of you. He's like, okay, and he has to like reach out for it. It's awkward, but it's a very, very fun show if you like cooking competitions, or if you like Korean competition, or just competition game show type stuff. It hits all those buttons. A a lot of Korean critics and Korean American critics have talked about how, like, this is stuff that I'm not necessarily picking up on because I'm not as, I don't know the culture nearly as well, but they're saying like this show is also like hitting like kind of like class, like Korean class structure themes in a really interesting way.
That was my question, because if it's called Class Wars, I'm guessing it's just the kind of more populist versus the.
They're kind of leaning into that, and I think some of it is. It doesn't feel like they hit it that hard to me, but I mean, I'm sure I'm missing stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, they definitely. I mean, that is why it's named what it is, and they talk about like how they're like even in the first round, they're all cooking on like this giant floor, like all these different stations, and then the top chefs are like they're like on a balcony above them just watching. So even that they just like create that image of like they're looking down on them. So the first 4 episodes are already out or were out as we're recording. 3 more will be out by the time this episode is out, and I think it's a 12 episode season, so that'll be like half the season ish.
Yeah. What's it called again?
Culinary Class Wars, and it's on Netflix. All right. Tori, do you want to talk about Agatha?
Yeah. Agatha All Along. It's on Disney Plus. It's the new Marvel show. I mean, it's a Marvel show, so I guess I don't really need to talk about it too much. But what I think is, I'm enjoying it. They premiered with 2 episodes, and I think what's interesting about this one, and this does not mean it's not going to all fall apart, because that's kind of what the Marvel shows tend to do sometimes. But this one I think is interesting because it rather than being a show that seems designed to set up a character for the MCU movies or whatever, this is really a direct spinoff from WandaVision. So you had like the first kind of Disney Plus MCU television show, WandaVision, introduced the character of Agatha Harkness, played by Catherine Hahn, and they brought Jack Schaefer, the same showrunner. Like, she has spun off this character into this whole like witchy series, and it's for the first time it feels very like I guess its existence feels justified, not because it's setting up something for the MCU, but purely because of Catherine Hahn, like the performance. So it's kind of, it's refreshing in its own way because you're watching it and it's like, oh, I'm enjoying this. And that is the only reason it exists. Now, I'm not going to the show will go on and God knows what the finale will bring. And maybe it'll have some giant revelation that'll play into, Dr. Doom, whatever, who cares? But for right now, it's kind of nice to see something that is directly tied to another TV show, not to the movies, anything else. This is really like, it's taking the story that happened in WandaVision and picking up the pieces of it. So like, we followed where Wanda went because she went on to Doctor Strange, and the whatever multiverse of madness. And then she supposedly died or whatever. Like, we've seen her character. Now it's like, well, what happened to the town afterwards? And let's follow the other main character of the show. But it's not, this version of Agatha is not really rooted in the comics anyway. She is she is almost Catherine Hahn's creation. It is the creation of the TV show. So it's like, it's kind of interesting in that way too, that it's not, I don't know, it actually just sort of feels original and low stakes. Now, I also remember saying that what was nice about Moon Knight was that it felt like it was not tied to anything and kind of low stakes, and like you could just enjoy it. And that was fun for an episode or 2. And then it went bizarre. So this show could completely go off the rails. But for now, we've got Catherine Hahn and Patti LuPone and, what's her face? Aubrey Plaza playing a character named is it Rio Vidal? Oh my God. It's just fun. It's fun. And the first episode is continuing the WandaVision riff on TV genres by doing a spoof of detective shows. So it's like they're very much spoofing like The Killing primarily, but also like, Mayor of Kingstown or Mayor of Easttown, whatever. I didn't watch it. But things like that. Lady
Mayor
Detective
of
Murder.
Easttown and Mayor of
Kingstown, whatever. It seems like a television naming problem. Like, this is not a me problem. Rural. This is not a me problem. But yeah, so they're kind of spoofing these really dour detective shows until Agatha remembers who she is and that she's a witch, and then it all kind of goes off. So it's a lot of fun so far. And if you want to watch something that is in the MCU but doesn't feel like it's necessarily just, functioning as a cog in the perpetual motion machine, this might be the place to do that.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I like Penguin more.
Oh.
But that's for another week.
Yet you're not going to talk about Penguin.
No. I'm briefly going to talk about High Potential and Matlock, because it feels like we're bringing back sort of this old Monk-like shows, Monk and House, and particularly High Potential feels like one of those USA Network Blue Sky era shows.
Castle.
Well,
the Consultants.
Yeah.
Yes. I liked High Potential. It's all very formulaic, but it's very comforting, and I think it's like Elsbeth, which is also very comforting. Only Galen Olsen plays like a genius who's a house cleaner and helps Carla from Scrubs solve crimes. And it's wonderful. Well, not wonderful. It's delightful and formulaic.
Yeah.
But I will probably continue to watch it because it just feels like yeah. But like the perfect kind of show to watch while you're cooking or whatever.
Yeah.
Matlock is Kathy Bates. She's not playing. Her character has nothing to do with the old Matlock. She just makes up the last name.
Actually, the Matlock show exists within the show because she references it's just like that old show.
Yeah, exactly. She wants to evoke that show in order to help her character. She plays within the show like this old lady who's been out of practice for 30 years and is invisible to everyone and has a deadbeat husband. And she helps this firm solve pro bono cases. But in reality, the twist in the end is kind of dumb, honestly. She's like this wealthy woman who lives in a mansion who's actually she's working at she got a job at this firm because her daughter died in the opioid crisis, and this firm helped an opioid firm get off, and so she wants to take down the firm from the inside, which is really not Matlockian at all.
And yet, Dustin, Elsbeth had a similar rooting out corruption twist.
Yes, but it wasn't Matlock.
So you're saying the fact that this is Matlock makes the twist feel like it doesn't fit?
Well, a little bit. And also, like, it seems weird that they're going to have to, like, run with this premise. I mean, because the rest of the show was sort of, like, Matlockian. Like, the character she plays within the character.
Right.
Is fine and somewhat enjoyable. But the fact that they're going to have to run with this sort of...
Dustin doesn't like complex female characters.
Yeah.
What I'm hearing.
I just don't know how they're going to run with this for multiple seasons.
Well, I think in an interview, the creator of the show, Jenny Snyder-Urman, who also created Jane the Virgin, among other things, she said that that mystery will be solved by the end of the season.
Oh, well, good. So, and then she'll just come out and
then there'll be something else.
She'll just play a Matlock.
There'll be a different
Matlock type old lady.
The thing that I also saw both, I enjoyed both. I feel like Matlock surprised me because Jason Ritter and Beau Bridges are both in this show kind of playing against type, because the roles that they're in, I mean, I'm sure the characters will change and evolve over the season and we'll get to know them more, but kind of like the role that they're supposed to play within the pilot should be like dicks. Like
Right.
those two should be like guys who look and seem like assholes, and both of them, neither of them do. So
Jason Ritter and Bo Bridges.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
it was a little jarring for that. I assumed that it was because, we either want to like them because they're not bad, or maybe that they're the bad guys, and it's like, oh my god, but these nice guys are bad guys. Why is that? Maybe not both of them, but probably one of them. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was. I think off of one episode, I did like High Potential more. It was interesting to me though that the main relationship does seem to be Caitlin Olsen and Judy Reyes, and not Daniel Sinjata. Like all the emotional bonding was between the two of them. Rather, like normally it would be the partner, which is Daniel Sinjata. But
so I thought it was him. I thought he was gonna. I mean, it definitely felt like they were setting up some sort of romance. Maybe.
I mean, it did, but like it to me, like the biggest biggest emotional moments were with Judy Reyes.
Yeah.
Which I didn't mean that. Like, yeah, I'm sure that the will they won't they is probably him, but
yeah.
But it felt like she connected more with Judy Reyes. Like just the characters. I don't know.
Yeah.
I felt a more intense bond with them.
Right. But I also liked that because it felt like Judy's character was definitely like the one who was willing to give her a shot when everyone else was like, no, she's nonsense. Right. And I think that there is that sense of like the person who believes in you.
Mm-hmm.
And like, so that means she's the one that Caitlin Olsen's character was her name Mason? What's her character's name?
Caitlin Olsen.
No. Yeah, Caitlin Olsen. I mean, it's really like, I'm going to be honest. Like, I'm just watching it for her. She's a wonderful performer. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, it felt like, yeah. So then she kept going to her for like when she needed to be genuine, because it was like, this is the one woman who actually saw her for who she was. So I enjoyed that. I thought that was a good dynamic. Yeah. But you're right. It's the show. It's very formulaic, but pleasantly so. Yes. It's fine. You're getting Sweet D, like just schooling everyone. I don't know. I just enjoy it.
Yeah. But if things get really crowded, I might drop Matlock.
Yeah.
Well, Matlock doesn't come back for another like 3 weeks, so you've got time for things to sort out.
They pulled an Elsbeth with that.
Yeah.
I did not. I just didn't watch Matlock.
We've got plenty of time.
It just came on last night. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and there's so much other. I was watching From.
I mean, yeah, we didn't talk about From. We haven't really talked about The Penguin. We didn't talk about Rescue High Surf. We're going to talk more Survivor. So there's a lot of TV. Stuff. TV is back.
TV is back.
Even though all of these shows were ordered for last year, so it's all bottlenecked. Yeah, Matlock was supposed to be 2024. Mm-hmm. I think High Potential also. Yeah, I think I think these shows were but they were just pushed to this year because of strikes and other things. So,
won't someone think of the overworked television podcasters who have to cover all of this television?
Yeah, let's just smooth it out. Anyway, that's the show. We'll be back next week, I'm sure, with more TV to talk about and Survivor.
But not the Menendez brothers. We don't watch that show.
Not watching that.
I am watching the Aaron Hernandez show, but I'm not watching the Menendez show.
I didn't know that either of those were on. So
I only know because people get angry about them online.
I know they exist. I don't know. I didn't know that they had started.
Well, you could identify when the Menendez brothers killed their parents. That was pretty impressive. I could not have named it.
I just vaguely remembered it was in the 90s.
Yeah.
That's it.
It was news coverage.
I really could have said 88 or 2004, any time in between that, truly.
No, it was 90. It was definitely 90s. I mean, obviously it was 96, I guess you said.
Yes.
All right. Well, we will be back next week.
Survivor.
With more Survivor. Have a good night.
Good night, everybody.